Hi everybody and welcome. I'm just going to adjust this. It's been a while since I've actually done any videos live, particularly through Facebook, but I've had the feeling to come on quickly. I'm not going to take long, but just to give a bit of an update of where we're at in a great number of terms, both individually and globally. And to give you, I feel, a little bit of an idea again, we're all riding this incredible wave, quantum timelines and shifts that we've never experienced before. But I personally have noticed a huge shift within myself in the last couple of days that is very pronounced in a good way. So I just wanted to touch on a few things and hopefully they might help you because there's some big things I feel about to take place. So, where are we? Well, what interesting times. I know I did my last video, which was on YouTube, and I said, I think that was June, I don't know the date exactly, but I sort of put out there the next 6 months would be huge, game changers, and I haven't changed that at all. In fact, I'm going to up that ante. And we're in this particular phase now where, certainly since the Lion's Gate, and the 9/9, which was interesting, and we'll go into a few of the events that have taken place, but from a higher eagle perspective, not a opinion of me perspective. And certainly I feel the next 3 months right up, taking us to the solstice at the end of the year on the 21st to the 12th, we're going to see some pivotal things taking place and some big energies. So starting with the energies, I'm sure, like me, you've all been experiencing some personal and physical shifts, changes, be it in your own personal body, in relationships, in what's going on around you. We can't not but be expanding now. We can't not but be feeling and experiencing the outpouring of the incoming energies from the cosmos. So I know in the last, well, as I said, since the Lion's Gate particularly, they're just amping up. They're not going to stop these frequencies. They are pushing through. The sun, our great central sun, is just bursting. It's active. It's releasing frequencies, energies, photonic light codes that we've not experienced for a very long time. So with that in mind, again, what's happening without, while we still see and acknowledge the without world, happens within. So what that increasing intensity that's taking place coming at us has to be affecting us within, because we're in the throes, whether you're awake supposedly, whether you're not awake, or whether you're anywhere in between, it doesn't matter. Your soul has chosen right now to be present on earth, and if not, then you are choosing to depart. It's as simple as that, and I'm going to be very black and white today. Some may like it, some may not, but this is truth. So every soul first and foremost has chosen this point of earth right now, and you've chosen with a contract to be here to create and assist Gaia in the transition to the new earth, which will be fifth dimension and for some beyond. So in saying that, we are here to awaken. We are here to be the soul that we've come to remember, the soul that we've come to reawaken unto, the soul that we've come to realign unto, to our higher self and beyond, and to actually allow this remembrance to take place. And how that's happening is through the awakening codes of light and frequencies that we agreed to partake within, to accept and to ignite and be the triggers for our cells to activate. Now again, consciously, we haven't got a clue, most people. But as we start to awaken, we start to become conscious to those shifts that are taking place. So when you're on a quantum shift, when you're ready to really shift up the spiral, you will feel within you the changes. Now whether that's, they're not comfortable most of the time. They can be very uncomfortable because, your higher self is challenging you now. It wants you to take conscious awareness and take part and be very, very present to what is going on within you. And as we start to do that, we start to put the dots together of how that outer world is one with us and affecting us absolutely as that whole entire cosmic universe that we are. So from my example, for us to say, is that, of late, I know what my intentions have been. I know where I am placing my intentions and what those intentions are, which is to rise, to awaken and be the greatest vessel of service to humanity and to those that I've contracted to. And I keep amping that up and I keep surrendering to that. So with that in mind, I have been a physical being. I have had many incarnations. And yes, I've chosen for a long time now, 20 years, to transmute and to use the violet flame and to clear as much density within my being as I can. But again, I also am very aware and conscious and under no illusions that in many of my lifetimes, they've not been all lovely and light. I've played in the dark and I've had some really dark, negative times. And so there's still layers within me that are clearing and transmuting and will need to come up to my consciousness to be purged and to be forgiven and to be released. So we are all doing this. So in saying that, in the last couple of weeks, I particularly have noticed how my body is going through big shifts and changes. So they are old wounds, let's say, old knee issues, my neck, my back. I've felt this huge tightness. I've been very restricted in movement. I've had a lot of pain at times. But, again, my choice is that I choose to go within, to use my light skills, to use my knowledge, to work with me, because I know that the light requires light for great shift. And it doesn't matter if you're going through whatever modality, and even if you're choosing to use the pharma modality, if you need to, you trust that. You trust what you feel and work accordingly. Personally, I don't, but then I challenge myself to really understand my light skills, to understand my cellular field, and to raise that so that I can teach as many people as I can. So in that journey, though, with the symptoms, as I said, I have used light skills. I have surrendered off. I've called in my field, my team. I've called in my guardians, my beings that support me, my spiritual warriors and team that I always give a shout to, and I've asked them for the guidance. I've also asked frequently to go to the healing temple at night. And it's amazing because, again, you're a soul first. When you put those intentions out, you believe and you mean it, you will receive. You have to. You are the creator of all that you experience. So the healing temples are wonderful places that you can ask to go to if you need assistance. Now, in mind, again, I woke up through the early hours of this morning and my neck was next level. It was, I've looked at so many layers of this. I've looked at many old issues. I've looked at and surrendered to the past lifetimes of these issues, people playing any mirrors to me with these issues. But again, this morning, just these little things we just tend to forget, and I teach them. Okay, we have our moment. And I thought, oh my goodness, I just haven't actually said to my higher self, knowing that, in these moments of heaviness, well, you're ready to shift. The light's really impacting now, which is why you're feeling these destruction, you're feeling these pushes to the surface of old energies that are ready for the dispensing and for the absolution within your field. And so I said to my higher self, okay, can we just tone this down again? I'm willing, absolutely, but this is intense. This is really intense in my body, what I'm feeling now. Could we just tone it down a little bit? I am still willing. I will work through what I need to. I'm not reneging on anything, but just tweak it down so I can just handle it. And I promise to myself that I will take this as deep as I need to and surrender. And within minutes, my neck had set. The pain that I had, this like jamming into the back of my head. And I know it's my ascension chakra. I know it's my upper centers. But it settled. It gave me enough that I could take the breath, I could relax, I could feel that how my muscles were tense and tight. I could breathe into the muscles, thank them all, and just say, okay, right, we're ready to go again. Let's do what we need to do in accordance to my plan. But it just gives you breathing space, and then in comes the violet flame, in comes the light. So don't forget the skills you have. Ask for the help you need. Ask, you shall receive. And your belief is everything. It truly is. But we are all under the pump. Now, as I said, this is not going to just, stop. This is, it's crescendoing from here on. It's an ever-increasing light quotient. And to give you an idea, with all the sun flares, the solar spots, and everything that's taking place from our great central sun, and all the suns in alignment down towards us at this particular dimensional zone, you know, the Schumann resonance, which is a physical record that measures the Hertz frequencies and the light that's coming in, or the energies that Earth's receiving, actually blew off. It blew, and the last input, it just blew, and to my knowledge, it hasn't been restored yet. So it's showing you what's coming in. Now, there's a lot of anxiety out there. There's a lot of head stuff out there. There's a lot of gut stuff out there. There's a lot of, and for me, again, it's been throat upwards, and certainly heart upwards, I would say. But again, try not to judge by seeing what's coming through, where you might be. Watch your judgment to the self, going, I thought I'd done this again. I thought I'd cleared this. Don't go there. You're just taking yourself back down the spiral. So just allow as best you can, even in the difficult moments, that as soon as you can become conscious, okay, make a call if you need to, call to your team in spirit if you need to. But just remember to breathe your way through it. Breathing is your greatest gift and ally, so that you ground these frequencies in. Use your crystals, okay? You are now transiting out of the old 7 chakra system. You are transiting up into your crystalline, your 12 chakra, your 12 DNA strand systems. So there's much taking place within you. So just be gentle to you, expect nothing, have no expectations in any way, and just allow as best you can. Use music, nature, absolutely. Get out there, because nature's frequencies are wondrous. They are perfect healing frequencies. And just disconnect. Disconnect from the matrix, disconnect from TVs, disconnect from social media, disconnect from everything that's noise that affects your being while you are moving through these things. Disconnect from people if you have to. Disconnect certainly from those who are not in your highest good right now. And even the players that are mirroring to you, just when you need to take the break, step up into your power and pull back until you're ready to come back in to the next level and layer of what you're moving through with grace as best you can. So it's a very simple understanding of energies. Now, again, what's happening to you physically and personally is also happening on a greater collective level. So many of us are also feeling that impacted, which was also a lot of, I know what I'm working through, really feeling that greater collective energy. It has been a little better, I feel, of late, but we're about to move into a space where it's going to be chaos. Very interesting energies coming. So really get yourself up and ready with your grounding, with your light skills, with your energy skills. I can't impart this more emphatically ever. So in saying that, we're now moving towards, we've just come out of the 9-9, which was interesting. And it is interesting. I am going to quickly mention, I'm not going to delve into any rabbit hole with it, about the Queen's passing. No coincidence that it was just before the 9/11, so to speak, or in that time frame, being the 8/11 over in New York or the US. But it's an interesting time again, and for me that simply gave way, that there was an end and a closure to a certain level of power here. And so we're releasing, there was no, as I said, no coincidence. And the rainbows that many saw, whether it be through social media or live in England, again, it's your interpretation of how you choose to look at that. But again, personally for me, those rainbows, or the double rainbow, meant this greater energy that's coming forth, that this was a turning event, a major event, where the light is showing you the light itself. It's refracting, it's always there, but it's showing you the light is here during this moment. And I'm taking up that we are moving into a very light-filled stage. But again, where the light comes in, the stuff comes up. So this next 10 days, I think there's 10 days of mourning, which I think is interesting again. So that's taking us around the 18th. But we're heading up to the 23rd. And for me, this is pivotal, which is what I wanted to talk about as well. We're coming up to the September, for us, the spring equinox or the fall equinox in the north. But the equinoxes are always powerful portals. Major one, this one, I feel. This is going to be massive. And so again, my feeling is that once we move through this portal, we're gearing up for 10/10s, we come to the 11/11, moving to the 12/12, 21/12. There are major dates to come. But through that portal, I feel we're going to see major shifts. Now, those shifts will be light shifts, they will be truth-filled shifts. So as the truth is placed out there, again, truth is not always accepted or wanted by many, especially where ego is involved. But again, on the path of the greater collective soul that we are, that we've all chosen to be here for, the souls are ready. The souls have to now come into alignment for the certain timeline that we are being asked to move towards. All timelines are open, but we are now creating towards this wondrous 5D New Earth timeline. It's there, it's happening, we're creating on many levels now, but we are to become conscious and eventually shift towards that and into that for some. So just to be, again, aware of the equinox coming. And again, with that timeline, the other thing that I did ask in my personal symptomology this week, or even early hours of this morning, was to ask to jump into the higher timeline, to step out of this particular pain experience timeline, to rise into the higher timeline that I am as well. There are many timelines coexisting simultaneously right now, and to experience that. So again, with my intention that I will look backward, I will heal down the spiral and transmute and forgive accordingly. So again, that's another option to you to assist you. Okay, so with that, as I said, we're moving into some really powerful times. It's going to be the tipsy topsy-turvy time. It has to be. But to hold your light, to the light workers who are awake, the message is, and always has been from me and many, we have to hold our truth. We have to hold our light. We have to be compassionate. We must be coming from love. We must be remembering and understanding as we were awakening, when we were discovering truths, non-truths, illusions, how we felt, so that we can be standing in the same shoes. Remember those shoes that many are to walk through, that will be very confronting and will be very hard-hitting all at once to a degree. So to be aware, because again, this shift, and I think this is really important to say, that, you know, this shift is not about anything happening per se, okay? This shift that we are all wanting, that we're all hearing of, that we are all expecting, is up to us. That's it. It doesn't happen if we're not in alignment to it. This is a consciousness shift. It's not you going to some new place or someone fixing something and then it's all nice and pretty. No. You will only see the shift as you do the work. As you raise your frequencies, as you release your density and your old belief systems in accordance to density, only then can you rise to see the new consciousness and exist within the new consciousness. So it's about us. It's about us holding the truth. It's about us believing in that it is possible, that's coming. You know, the joy, I can't tell you in that shift for me, where, you know, I'm going to be honest, at times I thought, you know, wow, gosh, is this really going to happen sometimes? And then I come back into my higher space going, yes, you know it is, just had to tweak that a bit. But since, I don't know, about a week ago or so, there was this shift in my heart, and it was this absolute knowing, we are now ready. I could feel it. The joy in my heart was palpable. It still remains. I am focused. I am intending. I am holding whatever light I need to hold and support anybody who I will need to support in accordance to the laws and principles of the source. But it is about us. It is about having that faith and that trust in the greater plan, in that we are the shift we are waiting for. So the more of us that can hold that, the more of us that can hold the light, like any critical mass point of energy, when you reach 51% or more, new reality. And that's what we hold our light towards. So we be our truth, we shine our truth, we can have a little wobble on our truth, but we reclaim the truth and come back up again, so that we are steadfast, because in the times to come, and they're not far away, I feel now, we are going to be fully required to see how steadfast we can be, because we're going to be hit too. We're going to be, energy affects everybody, no one's exempt here. So the test is how you hold that balance, and how you hold your vision, your knowing. You keep coming back to here, you watch this coming in to affect that, you rise straight back into here, shut that down, and hold the vision. And be love as best as you can, because love is the answer, as we know. Okay, so that's pretty much all I felt that I needed to put out today. And if there's any questions, shoot me them. Yes, in that bigger sense, for those, I can see many people awakening now. The energies are rising, the frequencies are gathering momentum. This is a joyous time, everybody. You know, this isn't anything to fear. Like, yes, it's going to see things, we're already seeing things crash around us and things that are changing. And you know, even in the last 2 years now, people are awakening and starting to realise, you know, inadequacies, hypocrisies, hang on a minute, these are part of the awakening tools. And all that we've been through were part of the awakening tools. You know, there was nothing that was bad. There was nothing that shouldn't have taken place. This was all divine, you know. It's learning to trust the greater picture that Source knows precisely what we're doing, what we're here for. It's us that is less than in our ability to retain and remember, yet we're striving and building towards that. So be gentle. If you know in your heart anything that doesn't feel right, you know, the greatest test on offer now to everybody is how you stand true to you. You know, do you listen to you? Do you trust in this inner knowing once again? Do you dare to give it your faith, your courage? Do you dare to stand up and own it and follow it? Because that's what you're really here to do. You know, when we're in fifth dimension, that's all this is about. There will be none of this. There will be no ego. There will be nothing less than you listening to your beautiful heart song, your beautiful vibration of all that you are, and trusting and creating through love and joy and all the happiness. So if you're in a space where, you know, your thoughts aren't quite happy, then it's only up to you to adjust them. You know, again, no one's going to do that for you. So it's the journey of what that is for you and how you can move through that to adjust them, to create that bit of joy, that bit of happiness, that bit of peace in your world. You know, nothing can bring that to you. Only you can discover that for you. And that's the journey forward, because when we're moving up into consciousness, we have our hearts are fully in alignment to that truth of joy, of happiness and love again. And so anything that's tainting that, we're just in the process now of discovering what that is, forgiving all that's attached to that frequency, and just accepting and allowing everybody to be where they are, watching the mirrors that are on offer simply for us. Because when anyone's in your world and they're either you're feeling you're being judged, or there's an irritation, or there's something going on, it's a co-creation, and both parties, or more than one party, all have the great opportunity of looking within themselves to say, well, what can I take from this? What can I adjust within me that will bring peace into my being, bring balance into my being, make me just go, it's okay, you know, however big or small that be. Okay, so that'll do me for now. As I said, I didn't want to hang on here for ages, but just to give you that prelude coming up, be aware of what you're looking at. As I said, look, never more important. If you can pull out. If you have to jump in to see anything, watch anything, do that, but be neutral, be the observer. Watch if you're getting caught up in it. Watch if you're repeating things, if what you're doing with that information, okay? Be strong that if it's just something you need to know for gaining your wisdom of truth, cut the cords, hand it back, violet flame the lot, and detach as fast as you can, and only take from what you need that will raise your frequencies into greater truth out of illusion. Okay? All right, well, have a good afternoon, everybody, and thank you, anyone that's watching. Thanks, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye. I can't turn it off.